Discovering his late grandfather Carter Remington had passed away, leaving behind a property, Felix Remington travels to the small town of Sheridan to claim the house. Felix and his brother never really knew their grandfather, besides the fact that he abandoned their grandmother and father years ago and simply vanished. After all these years, however, Felix meets a young woman in Sheridan, Marcella, who happens to know a lot about his grandfather. Carter Remington was no ordinary man. In fact, he wasn't a human being. He was a creature of the night, a monster slayer. But it seems even Marcella has been hiding a secret of her own. She isn't as innocent as she appears. Once, working as a maid for Carter Remington, Marcella had some suspicious schemes against him. It was after realizing Carter had good money, Marcella thought she'd play him big time. Perhaps she could seduce him, get pregnant, marry him, and enjoy his property and wealth. Does Master Remington have any family? Is he married? No, he left his wife. So he's heartbroken. Marcella tried everything to seduce Carter, being provocative, attractive. But no matter what, Carter never gave her any attention. He's such a strange man. In all this, it was one day, right before Marcella was leaving. She was shocked seeing Carter return home early that night. He was injured. There was a wound on his chest. So one day, she opened his room during the day, only to realize there was no one inside. He's not home? Marcella began searching for her treasure when she happened to press one of the bricks on the walls. It was suddenly that a secret entrance opened up. What is this? Marcella curiously hurried down the tunnel to discover a chamber in which there were numerous books, rifles, daggers, and other arms. And to one corner, a coffin. She anxiously opened the coffin just a bit. But as soon as she realized Carter was sleeping inside, she shut it closed. He's one of those creatures. In fright, Marcella hurried back before getting caught. But in the following nights, while Carter would be out, Marcella returned to the chamber and looked around. That's when she found his journal. So he's a monster slayer. Creatures of the night. They feast on blood, flesh. They can't withstand the light. They possess extraordinary strength, sight, sense, and speed. As Marcella read about the abilities these creatures possessed, she wanted to become one more than anything. But the only way she could was if she became infected. So one day, while Carter was asleep, Marcella slowly opened his coffin, made a small cut, and collected a few drops of blood in a vial. And on the next full moon, she performed the ritual and drank the blood, infecting herself. But when Marcella completely transformed, she realized she had become something much more superior to Carter. She could travel in darkness and in light, possessed immense strength and speed, and she also had great hunger and thirst. And the first person she feasted upon was Victoria. Just you. But why did you come in through the window? All this time, Marcella had been spreading rumors in town against Carter. And when the townspeople found Victoria's body, she incensed them against him. How did this happen? It was one of those creatures. The only person Victoria used to visit was Carter Remington. Could it be? The townspeople wanted justice for Victoria, and that evening, on Marcella's provocation, they mobbed Carter's home. What do you all want? You took Victoria's life. Victoria's... The mob attacked Carter without even listening to him, and took his life. Carter's body was then securely buried behind the town's church. Felix was frightened seeing Marcella approach him. What are you going to do to me? Now that you know my secret, I can't let you go. But just as Marcella was about to attack, suddenly, they both heard footsteps behind them. Seems like you knew a lot about me, Marcella, but not everything. From the darkness appeared a figure, a man whose voice Marcella recognized. Master Remington? That night, the townspeople had ran a stake through Carter's chest, thinking they had taken his life. But Carter had not died. As night fell, his body healed, and he came back to life in his grave. But it was since then, Carter decided to keep his life a secret. Carter continued to trace down the creature attacks, but he couldn't figure who was behind this. Marcella had been out of suspicion, as he had seen her going out in daylight. But it was in all this that Felix came to the house. That night, Carter had seen him and kept an eye on his grandson to protect him. And it was through him he was able to find out Marcella's secret. How can you be alive? I am not what you think I am. Before Marcella could do anything, Carter took out his dagger and sliced her throat. Felix watched in awe as Marcella immediately turned to ash. He stared at Carter in shock. Grandfather? Silver dagger. All the creatures of night fear silver. Then how are you holding it? Leather gloves. Or it's lethal to me too. Can I try? Not at all. Don't even think about it, buddy. Leave the monsters to me. After all the things he had heard about his grandfather, Felix was shocked to know the truth. But on his grandfather's insistence, he promised to keep his secret a secret. The next day, Leonard finally arrived to Sheridan. And they all sat down with the lawyer to talk business. Sign here and everything will be transferred to your name. We were planning to sell off the house. Would you be able to refer us to anyone? Leonard, on second thought, I think I'll keep my share. What? What do you mean you'll keep your share? You're going to live here? I thought you wanted to sell this place and pay off all the damage your ex-girlfriend caused. Nah, I like this place. Dude! Fine, then you keep the whole thing. Leonard was rather upset about the whole trip, but Felix silently enjoyed his little secret. After spending another day at their grandpa's house, the family returned back home. Well, only Leonard did. Sorry, grandfather. Felix Remington, the Monster Slayer.
If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe and share this video with your friends and family.